Hi, I'm Hannah, and in this video I'm going to show you how I painted this snowy sunlight forest landscape. You can easily follow this tutorial with gouache or oil paint if that's all you have, but I am using acrylics. I'm using a 12 by 16 inch canvas, but you can use any surface you want. You'll need a variety of brushes. I use a couple larger flat brushes in the beginning and some smaller round brushes for adding details later. For paint, I'm using the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and white. Here's the reference photo I'm using. I took this photo last month while snowshoeing with my partner in northern Quebec. There's a link to download this photo in the description. So the first step, paint the whole canvas with my red. So starting with the foreground trees, we're not worrying about details or anything yet, we're just getting shapes in. So we're going to put the bottom of the background clump of trees. We're going to put it right in the middle. For tree lines, I like to hold my brush horizontally and then kind of like wiggle it as you go across. The closer the trees are to you, the thicker they're going to be and the taller they're going to be. Bring it all the way up. Put a bunch of trees kind of at this range where they kind of just end at the top. Something I like to do when I'm painting lots of trees is you want to create lots of spaces in here. You want to make lots of these little, like this guy, like holes like this. Sky holes, that's what I'm trying to say. You want to leave lots of sky holes. A later step will be to paint in the sky in all these spaces, and that's the best part. Not really looking at the photo too much. I'm more focused on where things are in my painting. Like it doesn't matter if there's a tree right here. I don't need to put a tree right here. I already have a tree here. So it's, like, photo's just for inspiration and for realism reference. You don't need to, like, it's not about matching a photo. See, that one's kind of thick, so now I feel like I need to make that a foreground tree. It's too thick to be a background tree. That's better. So what I'm kind of trying to do is, these are my main trees, these two right here, right? This guy and this guy. So what I'm thinking is, if the trees kind of recede into the background from this point, so the closest trees will be here, and then they'll get further away from you the further you get away from this tree. So for example, I don't want a foreground tree over here, right? The guy on the side here. A secret tree. Also, just because I didn't mention it yet, I'm ignoring this guy right here. I don't like him. So I'm pretending that he's just not in the photo. Feel free to paint him if you want, but I think he distracts from this nice sunlit tree that has all these nice snow piles on it. That's what I want to focus on. This guy's just like in the way. The last thing I want to do in this step is just kind of get some more kind of points going on in these background trees. So I'm kind of just doing the same thing I did before, but now I'm doing it more sharply, just to get some treetops in there. Okay, now we're gonna do all of the snow shadows. So, okay, we need to think about where the sun is in this image. So the shadows are going that way and back a little bit. So the sun's like over here. So we want all of our shadows to be sweeping across this way on the right-hand sides of all the trees. We want this hill to be really sunny and this to be shadowed. So we're gonna put the hill like right here. Okay. There's a hill there. So now behind this hill is gonna be in shadow. And this will be illuminated more because it's like the top of the hill, right? There's a path here, but we're gonna ignore that, I think. Although that would be nice to have that blocked off, so maybe we'll just put some shadow in there. And then just box the corners off in shadow. But at two different angles, I don't want it to be too symmetrical. That one's kind of sharp, so some other trees over here. So we'll put some shadows in here that kind of bring us, that kind of point towards the subject trees. The ground along this distant tree line is all in shadow, so we'll just fill that in too. And we're going to fill in these foreground spots here. I just switched to a smaller brush so it's easier for me to fill in these background holes here. We're gonna define the edges on our foreground and like some of our midground trees. Mixing your blue and your red, but heavier on the red, so that you get a more red tinted purple. Now we're going to fill in the sky holes using the same blue mixture that we used for the lighter snow. We need a path for the clouds. So the clouds are going to come from by the corner. Kind of looking at where the clouds are in the photo. We need another line of clouds. Basically, anywhere you see a sharp line like this guy right here, that's too sharp. They're clouds, they're fluffy, they're not sharp. Those are our clouds, so those are like the lightest spots in the sky. So now we're going to use our darker blue. It's darker. And fill in the other sky holes. And we're gonna put the sunny details onto the foreground trees here. It's like a light orange with yellow, mostly yellow, a little tiny bit of red because the red's really strong, and then a little bit of white. You can get a nice orange. And staying inside the lines of this tree. So the sunlight is going to hit the left-hand sides of the trees. Now we're going to paint the sunny spots on the snow. So all of the sunny spots that you're going to paint with this color are going to go in the middle of these light blue areas. Now we're going to lighten the layer on the tree further. So add some more white to your orange. White and yellow. But don't add any more red. Staying within the lines of now this orange. Paint down these trees, kind of try to stay within the lines. But it doesn't have to be perfect. That's why painting trees is so fun. Now I'm going to use this guy. It's the smallest brush I have. Using the same color that I used to lighten the trees, I'm going to add some sunlight to a bunch of the trees in the background. Now we want to kind of clean up the bottoms of these trees a bit and fix the shadows around the bottoms. So, a shadow here. So these kind of darker spots here, I'm just kind of trying to indicate a change in the elevation a little bit. Using the same color, I'm going to kind of go back and kind of lighten up these shadow patches just a little bit in some places. Add some snow to the bases of your trees so that they don't just kind of look like they're floating. My trees look like they're floating. Now we're going to switch to just plain white mixed into what we have now so that it's still pretty bright, but anywhere like here where it's just kind of like abruptly snow and then shadow, you just kind of blend that together a bit more. Gonna blend this together a bit more. I'm going to define the edges of our foreground trees. Also add in some kind of shadowy, knobbly bits kind of all around it that we're going to put some snow on top of. On the left-hand sides of the trees, the knobbly bits are red. On the shadow side of the tree, the knobbly bits are purple. Okay, now we're gonna add some more white and some more yellow. Okay, now going back to blue, we want a shadow blue, but not like a dark shadow. So pretty much something like this. Now we're gonna add these clumps of snow that are on the tree. So above all of these shadowed spots that you painted, put a lump of blue there. So kind of just around like there. One here. Oh, it hasn't completely dried yet. Try to let this dry first, but we're just gonna go for it. Don't cover any of the orange with snow. Only put the snow on the brown. We're gonna define, think about which ones are in the front. So see, this tree is in front of this tree. So this branch is gonna cross in front. Don't paint over everything, just fix up the spots that you need to. So for instance, like I painted over a lot of this tree here with the sky. If you accidentally make a spot too thick, a good trick is to just add a branch. When it comes to ending branches, I like to either take them all the way to the top or all the way up to the side, or run them into another tree and then just let them end. Then you get all these really defined sky shapes, and I think that really looks really cool. Really. Now we're gonna fill in some of these red spots that I've left open. So mix another blue. Use a really light blue, pretty much almost white. We're not at pure white yet though. Okay, now the sunniest spots at the back will be in this color. Now I'm gonna add with pure white to the sunniest parts of the snow, so we're gonna highlight the tree again. So, mostly white. That's like tinted peach. Highlight only to your two foreground trees though. Needs to be bluer. Because he's actually not in the sunlight, he's in the shade. Same with this one up top here. He's also in the shade. With that in mind, you can kind of adjust these blobs of snow, keeping the shade on this back side. Maybe add a little bit more snow to this tree. I made the mistake of using thick paint too early, so now I have these like dried blobs on the canvas that aren't quite where I want them to be. Okay, I kind of want to brighten this back snow a little bit more. So we're all done. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for following along. I'd love to see your paintings, so make sure you tag me on social media if you post your finished artwork. I have a few other tutorials on this channel, and all my socials are linked in the description. I also have an art mail club on Patreon, where I send you monthly stickers, art prints, and original paintings, so check that out too if you want to support me further. I'm still super new to making videos and tutorials, so I'd love and appreciate any constructive feedback you have to offer. Be sure to like this video if you liked it, or dislike it if you didn't. My goal is to get weekly videos out by the time summer rolls around, so subscribe to my channel to see if that actually happens. Thanks again for watching, have a lovely day, bye!